Ladies and gentlemen, easily one of the biggest names across the world, and right here in Africa, we know him on a first name basis. But if you go to Ghana, he's got billboards everywhere. It's the one and only Stonebwoy. Welcome, brother man.
I'm back again.
Yes, sir. Yo, man, how you feeling? I see you back on the road. How's life?
Life is the ultimate, and I'm grateful to be alive right now. You know, through all the hard times. You know, from the COVID time, we still have COVID running around and places recording numbers. You know, but we're still alive. So I'm really thankful to God, and I pray for everybody else who is on the downside. You know.
Yeah. You know, the last time we connected, you had just released the album. You were on a PR run, and you were just so excited with that body of work. How has the album been doing? How are you feeling when you look at the numbers and just the reception of the music?
Yeah, man, that album had done amazing. It has done amazing. Trust me, from releasing that in 2020, yeah, that was when I released it, and it was right in the heart of COVID. It still made marks. That album has actually inspired. It has inspired a lot of other albums during that COVID period from the continent of Africa. It's not only from Ghana. You know, from Ghana, definitely. You know, so I'm really thankful that I took it upon myself to push to still have people enjoy music, put out some creative materials over there when everybody else was not very sure how people were going to receive creative material, you know, because of the times that we were in. So that album has actually, with that being done, that is one of the marking schemes or the achievement that I'm proud of. Meanwhile, also it's made a lot of streams. It still did very successful, and it's still doing successful.
Is there any single that caught you by surprise, based on people just loving it a little bit more than you had expected?
I think Everlasting is like the wedding song of the year.
Yeah.
Every party, every wedding plays Everlasting because of the message that it brings. So that's one very, very, very beautiful song that I from the onset, you know, when you have belief in a song, it's different. But when the song comes out and it hits the ground and you start to get the response, then you can now attest to the reality, you know, and actually, you know, get to understand what it's done. You know, before it was just going to be like a dream or you feel like it will, but now it has, and that's that particular song. Everlasting has done that magic.
That's beautiful to hear, man. And it's just so great to see you guys being on the road again as artists, with shows, the bookings. You know, it's just so great to now be finally get on stage and see how the people react to the music when you're performing it live on stage. I saw some of the images, I saw some of the visuals, you rocking out to the Yam Festival. You know, what makes the UK such a special place? Because every time African artists pull up in the UK, the crowd is just always a great energy.
UK is one of the markets that we have to be grateful for as Africans because it sits right in the middle of everywhere. You know, I think it connects the rest of Africa and connects the rest of the world as well. You can get, I mean, literally you can actually transit from UK to almost every part, you know. And so I think the settlement or UK has become like a metropolitan country where all walks, every tribe, every scene, every breed lives there. You know, you can count everybody from there are people from everywhere that live in the UK. So once the fire catches on in the UK, then you know that you're reaching a different audience. And I think the term Afrobeats, which is the new school, even from the old school Afrobeat, has always had the fine-tuning within UK and Europe. So UK really does play a vital role, and we are grateful. For me, I'm thankful for the fans and the response and the support that they give to all styles of music that come out of Africa. UK always responds to it, you know.
Yeah. And it's great to see artists now engaging in politics. You know, when you're out in the UK, I see you're also connected with Ghana's High Commissioner to the United Kingdom. You know, how did that meeting go? Are there any key issues that you guys were able to express especially some of the issues that artists go through?
Yeah, we discussed one major one, which is the royalty system in Ghana. And that is a topic that still lingers today, because it's been an issue that has been there from years, and we are also here facing the same kind of issues. And we feel like it is something that we have finished discussing amongst ourselves as musicians. Now we need to, with every little opportunity we get, take this on to, people who actually control things in our nation, So I met with the High Commissioner, and I made it known to him, which actually with his from the fact that I was discussing with him, the thing went so viral, it went so loud. So that tells you that we need our leaders to also be a part of the things that we think they don't know, because they're also busy with other things. So we have to put it on their table. We have to push it every time so that they pay us attention, because their time is, very, very limited and very important. Yeah.
That is so true, man. There was a video of you telling how much you've made, from GHAMRO in your career. Yeah. And when you said that amount, I was like, what? Just 2,000 cedis. I was also surprised, because for an artist of your caliber, I was expecting like hundreds or millions, cedis that you were going to mention. But has there been any changes? Because I saw GHAMRO came through a few days ago also saying that you haven't updated your profile. Has there been any updates?
It's politics. They will say what they gotta say to look good. Yeah. But I repeat here again, I know this is going to go very far. I'm always I honestly, to start with, I don't mean to disrespect anybody at their post.
Yeah.
But at least I know that as a creative, I need to ask to know. They have been collecting. They are collecting society that's supposed to be collecting money on behalf of artists, even if you're registered or you're not registered, I believe. So they're saying that I just registered a few years ago doesn't really cut for me. The excuses that they're giving, I only feel like, why do they not join in the force? Now that and it's not now that, it's always been there. But the more we amplify these issues, they as officials over there should also add their voices for us to know what is supposed to actually be done, because there's supposed to be a higher power beyond them that's supposed to fix things. Because I have sat in a meeting with them and they made known of their challenges as well. And I know other people have also sat in meetings with them, so they should rather not be always defending like they're doing the best or they're doing the work, and we are not seeing the work or we are not appreciating the work. The work is not really being done the way it's supposed to be done. So we are also supposed to fight for, not against anybody. We fight for the right things to be done for the future, for the present. That's all. So I have hardly reacted negatively or abusively, or which I'm not known for. I wouldn't do that. But I realize that they are only doing excuses and, like the regular, they'll find some reasons to put that inefficiency on, I hope it changes,
Yeah. And this is a real conversation, because throughout my career, engaging with artists from various parts of the continent outside of South Africa, the one common thing that always comes across is the musical collection structures in several African countries. Artists always say it's not as solid as South Africa would have it at the present moment.
Yeah.
And one would imagine that moving into this time or this era, these would have been sorted. But out of curiosity, would you say you've made more money outside of Ghana when it comes to royalties and the checks that you get?
No two ways about it.
Yeah.
When it comes to royalties and the checks, I've made more money outside of Ghana. Way much more money. I told you all I made is 2,000 cedis.
Wow, man.
Let's just
when you say that amount, it's just so hard to fathom, bro. Stonebwoy, 2,000 cedis.
I think 2,000 cedis is like $300, right?
Yeah, that's like
almost 400.
And when you bring it here to South Africa, it's like, yeah, you know, it's like probably like 4,000, 3,000 rand, somewhere there. I can't be corrected. Yeah.
So definitely I've made more money outside on the royalties and stuff, you know.
That is crazy, man. That is crazy.
And I think this is a wake-up call for all of us as Africans, because this is how we get to feed. This is how we get to make the monies and reinvest back into the system and do many other things that would also benefit Africa. You know, I think it's simply said, but it's also as simple as that. If you make money from it, then you can be able to put it right back in there.
You know, I've always said this, even when I started playing, you know, music outside of South Africa, you know, obviously certain artists would be touched when you start playing music that is not from South Africa. But the more you travel, you realize that Africa embraces Africa. And it's better to have money circulating within the continent. I'm not saying we shouldn't support all the international artists, but the same way they support us, I think we need to give them the same percentages, because it's rare to find in some countries African music getting, you know, airplay on primetime playlisting. So it's very important for us to engage in this conversation and empower artists and empower the entertainment industry and music at large, because it's, you guys are very, very important, you know. So this is a very, very important conversation. And talking about money, would you say you had to cut down on your booking rates since everyone is using COVID as a reason not to pay your full amount?
Honestly, it's a good one you just asked right now. I have actually not really cut down. We have reasoned with, you know, several institutions that we work with, or several institutions that hire us. So we all just make sure we get to a reasonable, you know, value that works for both of us. And irrespective of COVID, you know, that is a market thing anyway. You know, you can set, definitely you have your standards, but people will still come and then they want to offer the best they can. And then even sometimes people offer the best they can, and your team or whatever discussion ends up, you are even getting times 2, times 3 of what they thought they could have offered, you know. So I think generally it still goes back and forth, you know, and COVID has become a reason, but I don't think it's a reason enough, because every day, every time, there's always, you know, some form of bargain. You know? Yeah.
Now I get you, bro.
That will come with some other reasons. You know, You know, sometimes they'll be like, "Oh, yo, it's too much. Please, can we do this?" You know, that, and that's not COVID. So they'll always find a reason to, you know.
Yeah. They've been using that COVID thing that we can't pay you.
They just got a new reason. They've always had reasons.
You know, that time you look at the sponsors, you're like, come on now. And Ghana is just an exciting country right now, man. Outside of politics, a lot of South African artists are pulling up in Ghana, you know, and it's a great moment.
Josie hit me up. It's a great moment. Show hit me up yesterday. Be like, I'm coming. I'm like, oh, you're welcome, you know. But I'm not in town, and I hope I catch you before you run out. You know, from Casper, I got in, I think, 2 weeks ago. You know, it's my bridging. Busiswa logged in, and then both of us flew on the same flight to the States. Focalistic has been a very humble, great brother. From Ghana, I met him in SA, and then the relationship continued into Ghana, and we performed in the same festival in UK. And I would say it's a beautiful time right now, because I see South African artists moving out a lot lately, which is a blessing, because we are blessed with some amazing styles of the African sound coming from South. And in current times, we have the amapiano dominating, you know, everywhere. So big respect. And Ghana is like a standpoint right now because of COVID. So people have to come in there, stay like 2 weeks before they make a move. So that, on a positive side, it's still working, you know?
Yeah. And let's talk about the amapiano sound, bro, because you've been in the game for so long that you've seen different sounds coming through from South Africa. You know, you've seen that Uhuru, DJ Maphorisa moment. You've seen hip hop also, you know, take shape and also move within the continent. But there's just something special about amapiano that is being embraced by every part of the continent. And the amapiano artists are just literally invading all these countries and creating relationships to take it to the next level. Yeah. And now we're seeing them, you know, rocking stages. When was the first time you heard of the amapiano sound?
Must have heard about the sound a long time ago, like the South African sound. I think somebody was teaching me the Foca, like the South African sound has actually, the amapiano says, he said some artists in the South do the amapiano like the core, and then there are other ones that blend it with the Afrobeat that's not too, you know. Yeah, he was telling me those. So for me, I think this style is fresh. This one is very relatable. From the Afrobeat reggae dancehall background. 10 years ago, if I may, the South African sound was a specific sound. Like, it was a peculiar sound, like, oh, that's the South African sound.
Yeah.
And you could hardly find me per se. I love music and respect every genre of music, but you knew, if you heard a South African song, you know that's a South African song. So it's sort of like they were just left in their own world. But now you could go on and you're jamming to a South African song, you know. And I think that aside the hip hop era, which also opened a certain way, there's still the hip hop there regardless. But I think at every point in time, there's a sound, that one particular sound is going to lead up the whole squad, you know. So now it's amapiano that is leading the squad. The hip hop still has the what did they say, is it? No, it's not garage. Black Coffee. What was his specialty?
Yeah, it's Afrotech, house music. Yeah.
Yes. All those ones are still there anyway. So I've known South African sound from time, but this time is the time that I think we can all rally around it as Africans, create versions and blend the styles and still get it fresh every time. You know, variety is the spice of life. That's how come you see me and Focalistic did a song, and that song that we're about to release is crazy because there are elements of amapiano, there are elements of high life music, there are elements of dancehall, you know, and it just feels very different and fresh. And this is it. I think I'm happy about the times that we are in right now, and you only have to take a lot of work to still continue to push.
Yeah, I think there is an exciting moment with how you guys were able to experiment with the song. It's called Ariba, because also with your lyrics, I hear some South African infusion when it comes to language. Foca really understands the high life rhythm and the bounce and just the timing of the wording. It's like a connecting point between Ghana and South Africa. But it just, out of curiosity, when it comes to you guys picking the right beats to go for this record, did you guys go through several beats, or you just knew that this one is definitely for Foca?
I just picked that one. I've had like 3 beats of that experiment. Shout outs to Laxio Beats is the producer, Laxio. He had actually come to live in South Africa for a while.
Wow.
He's a big producer. He's had hits within the Azonto era. He's had hits with Guru and everything. So one time we couldn't hear of him for a while, only to realize he wanted a different sound. He's very ambitious. So he sort of like went out of the scene, took time in the essay. I didn't know he was an essay even, but I remember once he would shoot me a message and I would forget where he was, you know. And at one time when I went to essay again, he hit me up. It's like, oh bro, I just left something like that around the ends. But now I got to understand. He said, look, I have some fresh sounds, and I think the merger of high Afrobeat and amapiano would be a crazy one. I'm like, bro, you know, I'm actually on that vibration, because dancehall and Afrobeat solely is what I've been blending from time, and you have the Afro dancehall style dominating everywhere right now. Basically, you can find it. You can find it in a lot of our sounds right now. You know, like Activate Me and the video. You find the dancehall woman that I've really never seen. If I just did it like this, you wouldn't imagine it was on an Afrobeat rhythm. You know, so that's my thing. So I'm like, I'm willing to explore again. Then he sends me 3 beats. I'm like, Jesus Christ. So I chose that when I was in South Africa at the time. Then Pearl Thusi, I was rolling with Pearl, and then my big brother's calling from an agency, Africa agency, something like that. So I had a set up, my people in SA set up me and Foca later for that evening, but I didn't know. So Pearl was like, yo, you need to do a song with this guy. This guy is, I'm like, which guy? So she mentions, and I'm like, all right. Then I asked my guy, is it the guy that he said, yes. I'm like, I imagine. We've set up a studio already with the guy, so let's see what comes out. Yeah. So we went back to my hotel. This was recorded right in my hotel. I recorded with my setup, the mobile setup. That's how I recorded the song. So that beat, Foca was like, yeah. But before he came in, I had laid stuff on 2 of those. But I knew that one had a setting thing to it. Yeah. You know? And we have to grow, we have to experiment, we have to push the envelope. Foca liked it, and then we kicked it. That's how I'm even proud to have sung in Ariba. That's what he thought.
Yeah.
That's what he thought.
Bro, you hit that you hit that verse word for word. You would think you are from Limpopo, you're just another guy from South Africa. And it's so beautiful to hear it.
Yeah. Thank you very much. So I pray that the people love it, because he told me that it means come let's go to Limpopo, right? Come let's go to Pretoria, because he said Pretoria is a home ground of amapiano. Yeah. Right? That's what he said. So I think this is another, like, I am coming out of Ghana. I'm not South African, but I'm endorsing, and we are all pushing the sound. So I know, and I pray that South will accept the song, and I'll be able to come in their faces and give it to them like the way it's supposed to be.
Bro, trust me, this song really, really does bang. But what does Ariba mean for someone who's just as curious as me?
Thank you. I think I should ask you, because I picked the title from Ariba Tene. So the
Ariba. Oh, let's penetrate. Let's go in. Let's do it. Let's rock. Okay. I thought maybe it's so like, you know. Yeah.
That's where I picked it from. So I think I just felt it would be nice to call it Ariba. Yeah. You know, I'm sure Ariba, actually, when I checked up with the Arriba, it means up. I think it's Spanish, something. It's a Spanish or Portuguese, something. But it means up. Let's go up, you know, in another language. And I just kept it like that.
That is dope, because if you're in Pretoria in South Africa, when you go up, you go to Limpopo. So it actually connects. It actually connects. That is so freaking dope, bro. You know?
I would have never known.
Yeah. So it's high energy. Let's go up. Let's take it to the top. Shout out.
Big respect. Well, if they understand it that way, then I'm happy, because it's even inspirational. Let's go. Let's take it there, you know? Yeah. But it's a party song. Give me the wine, but well, nobody. Mr. Miller, you want murder the thing. Give me the wine, kick it from top. And I even said, give me the wine, kick it from top. What?
Yeah.
It's all about the top.
It's all about the top. Top floor, man. It's an exciting moment. Bro, that's fire. And Ariba Tene, so Tene means let's enter them. Ariba, let's, you know what I mean? It's so an exciting.
Let's enter them, Ariba Tene.
Okay.
Yeah. So we can say let us. It's Ariba, it's let us.
Yeah, let us. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Cool.
That is dope.
So I'll tell everybody now it means let us.
Yeah. Are you guys planning on dropping visuals for this one?
Immediately.
Yeah. Oh, you shot them already. Dope.
crazy video. Yo, you should go check out MTV Africa Base. They go premiere it right now on Friday. Everybody's premiering it. The song is hitting with a video, crazy visuals, directed by one of the best from Ghana, Rex Martin. Crazy visuals. You know?
This is dope, man. It's an exciting moment for Africa. I think amapianos is a special moment also because everyone is slowly understanding the importance of us collaborating as a continent. We're just a few hours away, man. Like, you know, people are open to do 16 hours to the US instead of 4 hours.
You know, right?
This is fire, bro. Shout out one time. In Miami, what are you cooking while you're out in the US? What can we expect? Are there some projects you're working on?
Absolutely. In Miami right now, I'm here to do some recordings, you know, so I'm going to be here for a few days doing recordings with artists. I'm going to keep it a surprise so that when you guys hear the body of works that's coming next year, you know, yes, I'm putting a lot of work. So I'm here solely just to record, touch base and get the sound up. You know, that's why I'm here in Miami right now.
Bro, would you say that the impact is the same when you collab with an African artist and when you collab with an artist from the US or the UK? When the song lands, would you say that the impact is similar? Because when you and Davido dropped Activate, the impact, I felt it from here. You know what I mean? From the visuals to the rollout of the song, him coming to Ghana and rocking, you going to Nigeria and rocking, you rocking the Nigerian jersey on the video, him rocking the Ghanaian jersey. The impact was so wild. And looking at you, you know, the collaborations you've done with Kerry Hilson, I can go on and on and on. And Vic Mensa recently, would you say that the impact is similar or it's stronger when you collab with an African artist?
I will say it's stronger when you collab with a big African artist who has impact on the people already. And even so, it is not a guarantee that when you collaborate with an African heavyweight, it's automatically going to be a smashing hit song that will break every foundation. But what made it special with the example that you used, which was Davido and I, was that Davido is a superstar on the Afrobeat level who was taking it global, broken through America and so on and so forth. And I, from the other side, also is Afro dancehall reggae artist who has taken it to the heights from my end. So a collaboration that has been long overdue, so to say. And I would only use the term long overdue because people have been expecting that. But I still believe that God's time is the best and the right time was the best time.
Sure.
And then that's how come it clicked and made such an impact. So for me, I think the timing, the kind of artist, and actually the kind of vibe. So we got all three correct, you know, and that's how come Activate is a mega big tune. And it's still growing because you can find a hit song in Africa and among Africans abroad, but it's now going to have to be a big song amongst every other people. You know, like when you take a song like, I'm just keeping the example with David, when you take a song like Fall, you know, Fall is like an if, you know, these two have broken through the African atmosphere and on a different level. That's what I'm saying. So just on that note, I think I'm referring to both collaborating with an outsider from outside of Africa. It's still the same. When you get the timing right, when the impact is correct. And now let me bring this to another example. Like imagine what collaboration is between foreigner, like when Drake and Wizkid.
I was about to say Wizkid and Justin Bieber right now. I would have said Wizkid and Justin Bieber, but why I didn't say that is that the song was not a collaboration, and Essence had picked the roof already. To a level before it got the man on top of it. But a song like Wiz and Drake was like original collab, or was it a remix? No. Ojulegba. First they dropped the remix to Ojulegba, and then they did that one. What was it called? I forgot.
One Dance.
Yes. With Maporisa,
so I'm referring to one dance with Maporisa. So then an original collaboration like that. Also, like I'm saying, when he has the heavyweight, when he has two heavyweights from two different worlds, when he has heavyweights from two different worlds, and the song is right and the timing is right, so
that's magic.
I wouldn't compare. To end with to summarize it all, there can be collaborations that would be bigger from the outside when you do it with an outsider, and there can be that will be bigger here. Vice versa, there can be that you do and it will not go anywhere. So it's all about the timing, the right sound, and the people involved.
With traveling, I think the UK, we've kind of like figured out the sweet spots. South London, Manchester. Just some of the sweet spots that we figured out that, when you pull up there, the impact is going to be solid. In the US of A, which spots would you say are a must rock at spots at the present moment? With the New Yorks and the Atlantas everywhere.
Yeah, like the names you're mentioning, I think the New Yorks, America is huge.
Yeah.
So the spots you're mentioning are also spots that can have it. ATL, New York, LA, these are the top spots that you can always find when you make a breakthrough. These are the places.
Okay. Because I think it's major key for artists, who have a big song right now to know.
Yes.
Just don't go to any country in the US thinking that it's going to pop off. You go to Texas and they'll look at you like, what the fuck?
Exactly. And maybe you might go to Texas and have a banging. So like I'm saying, it's a right move, it's the right time, it's a planning. It's what you sometimes you can go now, it wouldn't work.
Yeah.
It's not like it wouldn't work. People will not see the outcome. But you go 2, 3, 4, 5, then the outcome can be realized. Then you now come and tell them, I told you guys, because this is what I was doing, that is what I was doing. And on the other hand, sometimes on the New York, on the ATL, on the LA side, it still don't work. So for me, I believe that everything is hard work and timing and promotion and push. There's nothing that comes out just like that. I mean, God blesses people and uses and makes miracles still, but there's a lot of input that has to be made,
One love, bro. It's always great chatting to you. I know you got so much to do. Rock on out in Miami. Keep flying the African flag high.
Right now.
Yeah. Who you rocking with?
I'm just going to finish up. I'll tell you, trust me.
You almost told me.
In Miami, so I'm in Miami, so you can imagine on the reggae side.
Yeah.
Some of the legends always come through here. On the hip hop side, some of the big shots are still on this side.
True.
So, and they cross in and out. So you can imagine. I think I'm at the right spot. I might just make a big one like I did with me and Kerry Hilson. You don't know. I might just make a big something. So you don't know. No promises until we deliver.
Nice one, bro. Always great chatting to you. Bro. Stonebwoy one time.